Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah and let's talk book stats. So I use both Goodreads and Storygraph, and they both kind of give their own stats for the year. Goodreads a bit more basic than Storygraph, so I'm kind of gonna quickly go over both of those and we'll see what I read the most of, although I feel like it's pretty obvious, but these are always a bit fun to look through and maybe there'll be some surprises kind of thing. So I'm gonna go up in the corner again and let's get started with Goodreads. And now my face is a lot brighter from my freaking screen. So this is my year in books 2022. Like I said on other videos, I read 90 books this year, which is 10 less than last year, but I don't really care about that. I read 21,320 pages, which I feel like is super, super low compared to a lot of people. Like I've seen 80,000 plus, which is just insane to me, but I did read a lot of smaller books this year. So the shortest book I read is 35 pages, which tracks because this is actually a comic book. Longest book, 100% accurate. Fucking Les Miserables. Took me the whole year to read. That is a lot of freaking pages. So yeah, see, average book length is 236 pages. That tracks because I definitely feel like I was gravitating towards shorter books this year. I just really wasn't in the mood to read anything long. I feel like I went through quite a lot of reading slumps this year, and like Les Mis being what it is, like definitely was not going to surpass that. So most shelved is Frankenstein, which makes sense, but I don't understand. Like, is this number just this year or all time kind of thing? This one also tracks because I'm only the second person to ever rate this book on Goodreads, so the fact that only 4 people put this on their shelves definitely makes sense. This one hurts a little bit. My average rating for 2022 is 3.33, which on Storygraph, this is a little bit different because Goodreads doesn't do half stars, where on Storygraph you can even do like 0.25 kind of thing. So most of what I read was average, apparently. Highest rated on Goodreads. This is one that's a surprise for me. This is Heaven Official's Blessing, or Tianguan Sifu in Chinese. It is originally a Chinese book, obviously, written by MXTX. She has several series that people really, really love. Like, pretty much, this has been adapted in every form of media you can think of, both animated and live action kind of thing. And, like, 4.68 average. That's insane. And actually, I'm curious how many people have rated it. I bet it's high because it's a really popular book. Let's see. I really want to see. 11,486 ratings, so not quite as much as I thought there would be, but that's still quite a lot. So that is definitely one that surprises me a bit, even though it is really good. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, it's really, really good. First review of the year, yeah, Ariadne by Jennifer Saint was my first read of 2022. Oh, and that's it already. Okay. And then those are all the books I read. I don't know why some of them are showing the stars and then they aren't for the rest. It's a little weird. That's everything I read this year. A lot of short stories. Oh, my last review of the year. Yep. And that's it for Goodreads, I guess. So we'll get rid of that. Okay, Storygraph. Let's see, am I on the right page? Okay, yeah. So this is going to say that I read 91 books because there's actually a cookbook that I got an e-arc for that I have on here that I didn't put on Goodreads, so that's what the extra book is. For the moods, this one is very, very obvious. Biggest chunk, dark, 100%. It says I read 42 that I put dark for. Mysterious, reflective, emotional, adventurous, tense. Ooh, I'm surprised it's only 16. Challenging, and only 7 lighthearted. I'm not surprised there. Then we have informative, funny. Gosh, I really don't read stuff that's funny very often. Sad, inspiring, and hopeful. Oh, look at that. Inspiring and hopeful are the bottom 2. Jesus. I wonder what that says about me. Pace. Oh yeah, most of these are going to be medium. Only some of the books are slow, only some of the books read fast. I mean, that's just kind of how it's going to be. Page number. This is what I was talking about by reading stuff that was less pages than I usually do. 73% of what I read was less than 300 pages. Like, that's a significant amount. I feel like part of that is because I read so many short stories and anthologies this year. Usually those sit around 200 pages, so they aren't going to be bigger, like novels kind of thing. And then between 300 and 499 was 26%. I'm actually kind of surprised it's that high. And then obviously I have one that was over 500 pages, which is Les Miserables. Fiction and nonfiction, I really don't read much nonfiction. I read 6 that were nonfiction apparently. Can I tell you off the top of my head what those were? No, I cannot. But yeah, I read fiction. That's just how it is. Okay, this one, the top one is not surprising. The rest is a little bit. Obviously, top genre, horror, that's always going to be. But fantasy, I was not expecting fantasy to be so high on here. LGBTQIA+, I feel like I read quite a bit of books by either by authors that fit that or the characters in the story do, so that seems accurate. Thriller, I feel like most of the horror thriller I read goes like hand in hand. Yeah, here we go, short stories. I'm not surprised at all. These top 5, except for fantasy, I feel like I could have guessed on my own kind of thing. Literary, I don't understand what literary is. What is literary fiction? I don't really get it. YA, I'm surprised is on here. I read 12 YA. That's a little shocking. I feel like I'm really like not into YA at all anymore. Sci-fi is a good number considering it's not something I usually read. I'm surprised there's 9 that are considered romance. I would definitely have to look and see what they are because I can only think of like 3. Classics, mystery, historical, contemporary, magical realism I think is something I'm not really into. I definitely want to read more graphic novels this year. I don't know why 4 of them are labeled comics because only 1 was a comic book. Speculative fiction, which I don't even really understand what it is. Okay, erotica at 3. Those were the 3 that I was thinking were romance, so I don't know where the fucking romance comes in for the other ones. Oh, children's 3. This has to be the Fear Street series. I don't know what else it would be. And yeah, see, there's the cookbook there at the bottom. So, interesting graph here, I think. What is religion? Oh, format. So about a quarter digital and the rest print, which I mean tracks. I get most of my stuff from the library. Usually stuff that I really super want to read, like right now that they don't have, I will get on Kindle since that's usually cheaper than buying like a paperback of it or whatever. Most read authors. Okay, this is kind of dumb considering like that's the 3 Fear Street books and the rest are only 2, so that's just whatever. This one is just completely wrong. Everything I read was in English. I don't know where this Finnish one comes from. I have no idea what is happening in this. Number of books and pages. This graph is weird to me. I don't really... like, the fact that there are 2, like, y-axis is strange. I don't get it. So, like, for January, I guess I read 6 books. And then I read 1,949 pages. So the lowest month would have been November for books read, which was only 4. Is it also for pages? 1,500. No, not quite. July is shortest for pages, I guess. Highest is obviously this, which is September. I read 11 books in September? Holy shit. I think that's when I was doing... well, 3 of those would have been the Fear Street, I think. And then I was doing a lot of the short story collections then. So I guess that tracks. I don't know. This graph is just built a bit strange to me. Oh boy, star ratings. I don't know why it says 89 reviews. Whatever. But see, my average rating here is only a 3.21. So that's going to be a little bit more accurate. And I am shocked to see on this graph that I gave 4 stars the most. 24 books got 4 stars. 4 got 4.5, and 4 got 5 stars. Why? Okay. Because I think I have 7 5-star reads on Goodreads, so I probably gave those 4.5 stars on Storygraph instead of 5 stars. See, I really wish Goodreads would do half stars. Like, it would be so much more accurate, I think. So yeah, 4, 3, 2 for the highest. Gosh, why? 2 1-star, 2 1.5 star, 16 2-star. Like, ooh, I don't like seeing that. 5 2.5, 21 3 stars. Get rid of the average. 5 3.5, 5 3.75. I'm surprised they even utilized that. I usually don't do the 0.25 stars. 24.4 is nice, but like 4 5 stars, like that really sucks. That hurts a bit. And oh, that's it on here, I guess. So I guess those are my reading stats for the year 2022. I feel like there isn't too much to analyze here because it's very straightforward, and since the majority of stuff I read is horror, like it just makes sense. But as always, thank you for hanging out with me. It is greatly appreciated. And until next time, bonne journée and au revoir.